Hi guys, good day to everyone on my TikTok page. My topic this morning is I will be talking about the three components of personality. But before I talk about the three components of personality, I'm going to do a review. I'm going to do a review on some of the topics I talked about from last week rolling into this week. So last week I talked about experiencing traumatic experiences that can affect you. It can affect your emotional health, whereas you can develop depression and anxiety. I spoke about an overwhelming of prolonged stress. Traumatic stress can cause chronic diseases. You can develop chronic diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, and the list goes on. Okay, rolling into this week, one of the topics I spoke about Freud. Today I'm going to talk more about Sigmund Freud. I talk about Stanley Milgram. I spoke about his very controversial experiment. He did this experiment around the 1960s, and his findings from his experiment was that that people, when they are given authority from a leader, they can actually unalive someone. They can unalive someone. They can do violent, malicious acts. And the reason why Stanley Milgram was influenced to do the study, or rather the experiment, is because he wanted to know why did some of the subjects, call them the subjects, the people, the individuals, why did they took orders when they fought in the Nazi war? Why did they took orders and they do those horrendous, they do those committed those malicious acts? He wanted to know how far someone will go when they are given authority. How far will they go? And his findings were obedience when you are given authority. The people obeyed whatever authority that were given to them from their leader. I also spoke about insurrections. I spoke about 3 insurrections. I know that you all will know about several insurrections, but the 3 insurrections I spoke about earlier this week, I spoke about the insurrection that took place in the year July 27, 1990, where Yasin Abu Bakr tried to overthrow the government of Trinidad and Tobago. That happened July 27, 1990. So Yasin Abu Bakr would be seen as the insurrectionist. He's the leader. And the insurrectionist is the leader who is going to commit the insurrection. I also spoke about another insurrection that took place September 9th, 1739, the Stone Rebellion. One of the factors that caused the Stone Rebellion was the malaria epidemic in Charlestown. The uprising of the slaves took place where they created an insurrection. Okay, and you guys would like to know more about that, you guys can go over to my TikTok page where I give more details. I also spoke about the last insurrection from the 3, which took place January 6, 2021, when Donald Trump and his mob of supporters, they stormed the Capitol, they stormed the White House, because Donald Trump did not accept his defeat, whereas he lost the election. He felt that the results was very unfair to him, so he decided, him and his mob of supporters, to storm the Capitol. Okay, so those are the 3 insurrections I spoke about earlier this week. I talked about Stanley Milgram. I also talked about Sigmund Freud. Now today I'm gonna elaborate more on Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud was a known psychiatrist. Okay, he was known for his psychoanalytic theory. So what Sigmund Freud believes, psychoanalytic theory is basically understanding the psychopathology within a developmental mind. So Freud believes that the unconscious part of the mind, it can influence the conscious thoughts and behavior. He believes that the unconscious part of the mind, that it can influence the conscious part of the mind. So there are three parts within the mind. We have the unconscious, we have the preconscious, and then we have the unconscious. We have the unconscious, the preconscious, and the conscious. Okay, so the unconscious part of the mind, thoughts and behaviors you are not aware of. The conscious part of the mind, your thoughts and behavior you are aware of. Every day, whatever activities that you are doing, you are aware of them. You are conscious, you are alert. Unconscious, you are not alert, meaning that you do things and you forget. You forgot that you do them. So what Freud believes is that if you do something and you forgot it, meaning that probably you were strolling through your computer, strolling through on your phone, and you see pictures, you see a particular video, but within 5 to 10 minutes after you forgot it. He called that subliminal perception, whereas you saw something, a particular photo or probably a video, and you forgot it within 10 to 15 minutes. He called that subliminal perception. So Freud believed that the unconscious part of the mind, it can influence the conscious thoughts and behavior. He believed that the unconscious part of the mind exists. The implicit, the subconscious. Okay, now Freud developed three components of personality. And earlier this week I spoke about them. So you guys are quite familiar about these three components of personality. The three components of personality are the id, the ego, and the superego. I expounded on what they all meant, and I will just give a bit of review. The id is the demanding gratification. I already explained what that means. It means that it wants to satisfy the urgent need. So if you have an urgent need to have sex with multiple partners, the id is demanding that gratification to be fulfilled. The ego on the other hand, it thinks logical, rational. It tries to satisfy both the id and the superego. Okay? The superego on the other hand is known as the moral guardian. It is known as the good part of your personality, the very good part of your personality, and you want to listen to your moral guardian. It has morality. Okay, so those are the three components of personality: the id, the ego, and the superego. Okay, within personalities there are defense mechanisms. I'm only going to talk about a few. What is defense mechanism? Defense mechanism are unconscious ego defense against anxiety. So your unconscious ego, it is a defense against anxiety that can distort reality. Okay, some defense mechanism I would like to talk about is sublimation. Sublimation are transfers of unacceptable impulses into anything that is acceptable. It can be your actions, it can be your beliefs. So basically, whatever unacceptable impulses that you have, you are trying to transfer them into something acceptable. It can be your actions or it can be your beliefs. Also, some people try to use projection. Projections are your attributes where you are trying to transfer them undesirable characteristic traits, your attributes, your undesirable characteristic traits to others. That's what you're trying to do, project. transfer some people the way that they feel. They are unhappy with themselves. Whatever undesirable characteristic traits that some people have, they are trying to put them to others or give them onto someone else, project. Okay, guys? Rationalization, to justify something unacceptable. Repress, to forget something from your conscious. Some people try to repress their feelings. They're trying to repress. When you hear people repress, that is a form of defense mechanism. They are trying to forget something from their conscious. Denial, you don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to accept the truth, so you live in denial, a defense mechanism. There are other types of defense mechanism, but they all work in their own way. So I spoke about sublimation, projection, denial, repression, rationalization. There are also reaction formation. There are other few of defense mechanism, and they're all these theories were created by Freud. Okay, Sigmund Freud. Okay, guys, so I just wanted to give you guys a review, and also I just wanted to talk a bit on the 3 components of personality. Okay, so you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you, each and every one of you all, for watching my live. I appreciate each and every one of you all. And yes, I'll be talking, my topics will be more based on psychology, and as I talk about it, I am actually relearning what has been taught to me. Everything I talk about, I relearn. And the more you talk about something, it's going to stay. It's going to stay, because just remember, there are 3 parts of memory. Encoding, when you first received the message, it was thought to you. Then you have storage, the memory was stored. Retrieval, you're going to use it. So for me, I was taught something, so it encoded inside of my brain. It stayed in storage. Now I'm having a discussion with you, or I'm using it. I'm retrieving that message. I'm retrieving that information. So the more I have discussions with you, or I join various panels and have, some of them can be very intellectual conversation or equitable conversation, I am actually using whatever information or knowledge that was given to me, or whatever I've read. Okay, so you all try to do that. For some of you all who are in school, whenever whatever information that was thought to you, the first time you received the message, it was encoded into your brain. Then it's in the storage. But in order for that message to be long term, you have to keep repeating it over and over. Or you could actually use the information into something that you might remember. Sometimes you were given a particular information or particular theory. You use that theory onto something that you could remember. Maybe maybe a boyfriend. I don't want to say ex-boyfriend, but use it, or probably a family member or your children. Use the information that was given to you into your everyday life so that you can remember it. Okay? So you all have a beautiful day. I'm going to work out, and of course when I finish workout, I'm going to upload my workout videos onto my TikTok and my other social media platforms. Okay, so you guys have a beautiful day, and bye.